All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. You are here with myself, James Cox from NetworkOptix, and Eric Chi from Promise Technologies. Today, we're going to do a really brief introduction of NetworkOptix and the Nx Witness VMS platform, just for those of you who are coming from the Promise customer base. And then that'll only be about 10 minutes, and we'll hand that over to Promise, to Eric from Promise, who will give us a really good rundown of their technology and kind of what they're working on. And some really cool integrations they've done with us, actually. So for all their hardware monitoring, it's pretty well integrated with our platform, so you can always see what's going on. So Eric's got some pretty cool stuff to share about that. So we'll get started. So Nx Witness, NetworkOptix, a little about our company. The product was kind of first sold and introduced in 2013. We're kind of a company based around video technology. So originally in the security vertical, and now we have something called Nx Meta, which is kind of a core functionality for streaming, delivering, recording, and managing IP video from any device, anywhere, for any kind of infrastructure. So whether it's IoT devices, AI systems, or any of the above, basically. So that's kind of what NetworkOptix is dedicated towards. So a little bit about the company history. Founded in 2010. First commercial kind of release was in 2012. In 2016, we actually got listed as the 7th fastest growing software company in the United States, just to give you an idea of how rapidly we grew. Basically because of the way that we took the kind of idea of how an IP video system should be designed. It shouldn't be overly complex and cumbersome. It should be like user-friendly, accessible, and easy to use, which we'll touch on a bit in the next slide. 2017, we released NX Cloud. And then we started our work with NX, which a lot of people really like, which is how we kind of do a lot of our AI integrations. And so a little bit of a timeline for you there. So the core philosophies of the company, and this is kind of what gives us our strength, I think. The first one, usability. So you can install the system in 2 minutes, like server and client. I've done a full 100 camera setup in less than 5 minutes. It's super easy with auto discovery. One-click installs, no databases to connect, anything like that. Also, just the general usability of the system as well. Rather than kind of just building off what everyone else has done, which is what most people do, we got a professional UX designer in. We built this thing from the ground up to be like, all right, so if you, with current technology, wanted a video system, how would you want to interact with it? Rather than, well, this is how it's been done, so we just carry it. So the usability of the system is extremely good. You can pretty much sit there and figure it out on your own without any training, which makes people a lot less scared to use it. A lot more value is then kind of seen inside the system. Next one is the lightweightness of the platform. So as I said, it can install in 2 minutes. That's due to the fact that our install file is like 200 megabytes or something. But on top of that, it means that we can run on a lot of things. We can do 128 cameras on a single core of a Core i3 processor, so pretty lightweight. We can run on Raspberry Pis. We can do 12 cameras on a Raspberry Pi, and you can pretty much then install it on anything in terms of operating systems. Even when we stream, you can install it on pretty much any laptop for viewing it as well, because we have a whole something called adaptive scaling, which is a whole low resolution, high resolution kind of streaming system that makes your system a lot faster and instantly record video, even if it's coming from the other side of the world, which you'll see in a second. So the extensibility is the last kind of one. This is where we kind of talk, where we're stepping outside of the constraints of a security vertical, and we can really fit with anything. Our back end has full open tools that allow you to basically send metadata to us, integrate video streams, grab video streams from our system, and really sort of make it specific to any vertical, which is kind of the way that the industry's gone, where we've got so much technology out there with IoT devices and different systems that we want it all integrated to basically create a single like customized solution for every project, which we can kind of fit because of the extensibility of our system. A little bit about our footprint around the world. There's company history there again, but the footprint around the world is the main thing. So you can see we've got offices all around the world, including support offices. So we cover everything. Every time zone is covered by a support team as well. So whenever you need support, it's pretty much always available. And there should be local salespeople in your region as well. So cool, that's a really quick presentation of the Nx software, but what I'm going to do is actually give you a really fast demo of the system and how it works. So you can see here, this is our platform. That's what it looks like. To load video, one of the nice things about our system, we can kind of just drag and drop video in. We don't have to predefine like the squares and how it's going to look. So it's completely customizable and flexible. You can see how fast I grabbed this video. This is live video from the US. So when I was talking about that kind of lightweight, easy, fast recall, you can see it's almost as fast as if I'm on a local site, right? We kind of try and shut out like the chopping of video and things like that. So that kind of speed is something we've really worked on. Some really cool recall features inside of the system as well. So if we're looking for instance, for motion detection, obviously pretty standard that most systems do motion detection. On top of that, what we can do is a smart motion search, draw a red box. Now, anytime there's motion inside that red box, we can see all the thumbnails on the right-hand side there. And it's also tagged on the timeline down here. Nice thing is we can do that with any camera. I just did 3 months worth of data in about 2 seconds. So you can see that kind of speed of being able to search back that data. A couple of other features that are really nice. We've got full fisheye dewarping inside of the system without having to actually rely on the camera to do the fisheye. So one of the obviously issues with fisheye cameras is the integrations can be complex, especially if someone updates their SDKs. So you can see from here, we've got our fisheye camera. I have something we call a crop box. I can grab that, or a zoom window. We can now take that out, and we can do as many of those as we want to basically be able to see our fisheye in a lot more ways. So the nice thing about this is you can change it after recording as well. You're not stuck to these views. You can change it on the fly, and then when you need to export it, you can export the video as and when you want to. So pretty smooth way of doing it. As I said about the usability of the system, when we do have video kind of coming in, we can also grab the playback pretty easily. It's all what we call a single UI. So we're not trying to grab, go to a whole different section of the software to be able to look into playback. I always have my timeline at the bottom here, and I can just click at any point and we go into playback, or I can look for a specific date or time and basically jump straight into playback. So if I go, let's say the 5th at 6 p.m. in Taiwan, so this bottom camera's in Taiwan, and then I can just hit play. Go back to here and we'll see the guys in the office over there. There's Oscar from our team who is on the call, I think, or he's jumped off. So you can see how quickly we can jump this data. This is from Taiwan. The top 2 cameras are from the US. It's all tied together thanks to our Hive architecture, which is basically, it gives you all the same advantage you'd get from a central management server, except for the fact that you don't have a central management server. So it's what we call database replication, that basically allows you to have every server as an access point on the system, and have complete self-healing. So if a server goes down, you can put a new one in and it rebuilds its database. And you have a lot of functionality around kind of how you access and connect to the system, and also makes auto failover is a feature built into the system rather than having to buy extra licensing. So if you have 2 servers on a single site, one goes down, the cameras will move to the other server. And if the other one goes down, those cameras will move to the other server. So 100 camera site, 2 servers, 50 cameras on each. If one server goes down, the other server will do 100 cameras and stay live until you get a replacement server in. So it's a pretty cool architecture. It's hard to explain in a very brief and quick webinar, as I don't want to take up too much time, as we're going to hand it over to Eric soon. So if you want more details on how that Hive architecture works, because it is very unique in the security industry and has a lot of benefits over pretty much any other architecture in the security industry, it's definitely worth checking out and reaching out, and we'll give you a quick demo of that. The last thing I will show you is, I need to just jump to a different system, and it's that kind of extensibility that we talked about with all the tools that we have. So we have the ability to connect with cameras and take in all the AI from cameras. So if we jump to our system here, you can see on the right-hand panel here, I actually have the ability to bring in a lot of the different kind of AI into the system. So I can say face tracking, license plate tracking, personal tracking, vehicle tracking. This is all based on the data that's coming from the camera. So we can either do it with a third-party software like Centurion or SecuriNet or any of those kind of AI platforms that are out there, AnyVision, or we can do it from the camera. So if the camera has those features and functionalities available and they're integrated, we can actually have the full feature set inside of our software, which means you don't have to have extra infrastructure for running a software platform or anything like that. So you can see on the right-hand side here, we're doing our people tracking. And it's showing me the thumbnails of the people. It's showing me the colors that they're wearing. It's showing me the gender. So let's see, if we search female, it will then show us all the females that were present. So then we can sort of double click and get access to that video. You can see it shows us what they're wearing in terms of the bottom half is black, the top half is orange/red. And you can see that it actually tracks the people visually on the screen as well. Boundary box. So you'll see boundary boxes on the screen, but someone may have turned it off in the system at the moment. So you can see how that brings a lot of benefit to system review and system search. And obviously you can do all alerts and alarms with that as well. So basically anything inside of the camera can then be alerted. So if you've got line crossing, if you've got if you've got perimeter detection, any of those kind of features from one of our supported devices, which would be, you know, Harmwire, Hikvision, Axis, Bosch, Vivotech, kind of all the major brands on the market. All the in-camera intelligence is now fully integrated, which means you get a lot more kind of features out of your system because you can actually leverage the features inside the cameras pretty well. Cool, so that's a kind of really quick breakdown of our system. Obviously, there are a lot more things to see, and there's a lot more really cool, unique features that I don't have a chance to show you today. So definitely, if you don't know the platform and it interests you, reach out to us. We'll set up a demo. You know, we can do a pretty quick demo in about 30 minutes. We all know people are pretty pressed for time at the moment. So happy to do that and then kind of give you some food for thought on kind of what VMS you're using. So definitely reach out to us. On that note, I will hand it over to Eric, who is going to show us some really cool stuff in terms of how their hardware is integrated with our system, and how it kind of sends all alerts and notifications, so you can actually get that via push notifications to your mobile phone if there's any hardware failures, which is pretty cool. So Eric, do you want to take over?
Hi, James. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi. So I share the screen now?
Yep, go for it.
Okay. On my way. So you guys can see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eric from Promise Technology. I'm the product marketing manager responsible for surveillance product line. So in the next 30 minutes, I would like to briefly introduce you what is the Promise storage and what is the benefit we have for surveillance application more specifically, and to have some of you might already knew Promise for years, but maybe some of you are not. So later on, hopefully, I would like to give you a more clear picture about who is Promise Technology and what we can benefit for your surveillance projects or products. So let's start. About Promise Technology, who is Promise? Actually, Promise was founded in San Jose in United States. As we know that now United States is all on hot for the election, right? So back to 1988, Promise Technology was founded in San Jose, the more center for the high technology. So as you can also see that until now, we are already more than 30 years old in storage field. So you can imagine our expertise and experience in all the storage related business and products. So we have around 396 6 employees, and 44% of them are R&D engineers. Means we care about the R&D and our product innovation very much. We align with mostly global first-tier companies like Apple, Intel, AMD, all the big names you can ever heard. And also for surveillance product line, we are also working with first-tier brands like Nx, like Axis, like Bosch. We have a very deeply integration and a very good communication tunnels with all these first-tier partners. And we have some achievement in the past. We are the first hardware high-capacity array storage system manufacturer. And also we are the first RAID with Thunderbolt technology, which was a proprietary interface, firstly by Apple. And more now it's already coming to Thunderbolt 3. And maybe Thunder 4 is coming next year. So we are leading technology for the edge storage, not only for the system, but also for the HBA card. So not only for this history, but we also have the global setup including for Europe. Today is our solutions webinar for EMEA session. So I would like to share you our office in Europe. We have our headquarters in Eindhoven, and also we have another office in Dortmund in Germany. And for EMEA, we also have an office in Dubai in UAE. So in case you have any inquiries, just drop us a message or email. We have local people to help you. So for our Promise surveillance product portfolio, I would like to share with you very briefly by our we call quick buyer guide that you can see from here. Actually, there are many different models covering the wide range portfolio. That's because we know that in surveillance, we have all different types of the scenarios or projects to deploy, to plan. So as you can see that we are covering from tower base, which is our Vess A8020, until 4U24 base. We cover a 1U4, 2U8, 3U16, and 4U24, these main form factors to fulfill your various project needs. Furthermore, we are also offering that a complete wide range of the SAN storage, including the JBOD. So in case your projects, they may need to expand the storage capacity after the deployment, maybe after 1 year or 2 years, they need more recordings. You can easily expand your storage capacity by another product line of Promise technology, without any integration problem or compatibility issues. So we are giving the most active products of the Vess A so far is our 2U8. It's more flexible for different mid-size projects. And later on, if you are interested in any of the single models, please let us know, and we will be happy to help you to understand more about our product spec and details. So, coming to the benefits of integrating Promise Vess A with the Nx, when you choose Promise with the Network Witness VMS, what you will get the benefit. First of all, is different from any other IT servers you can hear from the market. We have different proprietary optimized RAID driver developed by the dedicated Promise R&D team for surveillance application. This is quite different from other big names in IT like Dell or HP. So Promise, we have a dedicated R&D team, we have dedicated support team for the surveillance applications. So it is quite different from Intel RAID driver or maybe other IT RAID technologies. Secondly, we spend quite a lot of resources to have a comprehensive testing with the network witness. together with the Promise Vess A series. Later on, I will also share you about the test results so you can have some ideas when you are planning for your projects, which model is more suitable for your demand. Furthermore, we tested because NetworkOptix is very pioneer in different OS. They have Windows and also Linux-based VMS. So we tested both on Windows and also Linux based on Ubuntu. Coming further, you can have unique Nx backend to secure your project means. We have some special integration with the Network Witness that it's very unique in current surveillance market. So you can use this integration to design in your projects. Then you can have better chance to win the tenders to get awarded. So this kind of integration later on we'll also mention about is you will not miss any event from Promise storages. Normally what we know is about on the VMS web GUI, we will see the event log, event message from cameras, or maybe some from external devices like alarm, like access control. But rarely you will receive the event from storage or from your server. But because of this integration, we now with the Promise Vess A and the Network Witness, you will be able you are able to see all the events from storage, like hard drive failure, like a RAID crash, like for example, enclosure temperature is too critical. For such kind of event, you will never miss it again. So later on, I prepare one demo video so you can see how it works, and we can also verify what kind of event we will receive on Network Witness. The last but not the least, you will have a great storage scalability. This is because of the advantage of what Promise product portfolio of the SAN storage. So if you need, no matter you are working on some niche end customers, they need, for example, maybe 3 months or 6 months or even 1 year recording. You don't need to worry about the storage because we have complete product portfolio, no matter from entry level to high-end level SAN storage. We can fulfill any kind of your storage demand. So I would like to spend a little bit time regarding the optimized RAID driver. Actually, this is we have a proprietary patent we call Smart Boost. So what is Smart Boost and why it's better to help you? So basically, with our Smart Boost proprietary RAID drivers, we optimize our internal firmware algorithm. So based on certain applications and the task for surveillance application, so we can our storage can overcome some bottlenecks of the storages or hard drives. So first one is the Smart Stripe. Basically, to understand more easily, with Smart Stripe, we are increasing and making the system more stable with the recording performance. So with Smart Stripe, we are able to manage more cameras by single NVRs. Also, we are able to increase the performance for the data throughput. Secondly is the Smart Playback. As we know, in surveillance applications, from time to time, we will need to do the playback feature. So normally, when we are doing playback, the recording and live view must go simultaneously. So in this case, the system loading will increase rapidly while we are doing playback. So in Promise Smart Boost, we predict which video, which data you are going to use for your playback request. So we reduce the system loading caused by playback to your NVR. That's why we can give you a very smooth playback without any interruption and also without any frame loss, video drop for your recording and the live view. Smart continuity means for the RAID, for your RAID, in some scenarios, when you are RAID, for example, RAID 5, when you have a failure hard drive, your RAID will enter a critical status. So in this case, if without your IT manager's notice, you may lose the data if the second drive failure right now. So within our Smart Boost, we change a little bit the algorithm of the RAID. So we minimize the possibility of the data loss when your hard drive has some failure. Means normally when in many cases when the hard drive is detected by your RAID as a failure hard drive, actually it is still able to write data into it. So in this case, we minimize with our Smart Boost, we minimize the data loss risk. So if your failure hard drive is still able to record, but it was detected as a failure hard drive, we will keep it recording. So we will have more buffer time before your IT manager to change the failure hard drive. The last Smart Boost feature is Smart Meta. As we know, in surveillance projects or applications, now more and more systems are using the metadata to transmit for the analytics data or the recording metadata. So to the storage system, basically they don't recognize different data types, and they will just put metadata in queue. So with this scenario, our data transmission, no matter playback or live view or any analytics, you might get some delay because of the transmission of metadata is not smooth. So we also change our algorithm, so we make sure all kinds of metadata will be transmitted very smoothly without any delay, without any waiting in the queue. So with our Smart Boost, you will get a better throughput, of course, and then your system will be more stable, and we will have less latency, which is also critical for surveillance applications. So here I would like to share you a little bit about the testing we already done in the past. Here's the testing criteria, so you can have a more specific reference regarding the performance of Nx Witness on Promise Vess A. So with the Windows 10, basically we are using Windows 10 for Windows testing, and we are using Ubuntu 18.04 for the Linux OS version. Our testing criteria is H.264, 1080p resolution, 30 frames per second each channel, and the bit rate of each channel is 6.5 megabit per second. So you can easily see that our Vess A appliance is easy to reach very good cameras numbers. How come we can accomplish this test performance? It's because of mainly it's because of our Smart Boost technology. So as you can see, the storage bandwidth of our, sorry, a little bit more information. 3340 is our 2U8 storage. So you can reach 120 cameras on our 3340 with the Nx Witness. And you can see the outstanding storage bandwidth. And even under the rebuilding, we can still recording and handle 100 cameras. So this is 3120 is our 1U4 NVRs. You can also handle 80 cameras on single 1U4 NVRs. So also on the Ubuntu, we can easily reach the highest camera spec of an NX Witness. So with our A3120, it is a 1U4 with the i3 CPU. So with this model on Ubuntu, you will be able to manage 128 cameras without any issues. So this is quite outstanding performance, even with local live view or remote live view. So with this test report, I would like to highlight one thing is that this was done practically by our technician in our surveillance lab. So you don't need to worry about any performance, any stability. And of course, if you have any projects you would like to consider Promise Vess A, please let us know. And then it will be our pleasure to provide you the professional pre-sales support and any information you need. So here I would like to share with you the demo video. So this is our Vess A6600. So we already installed the Nx Witness on our Vess A6000. So firstly, of course, you need to log in to our web GUI called WebPalm. And then you can see the different event severity we are supporting in our Vess A. So you can see different event type, no matter for the enclosure, for your array system, for your interface, or your drive status. So these are some reference to let you know what kind of event we are supporting within Promise Vess A. Secondly, when you go into the software management, you can see the Nx Witness already on our web GUI as an option. So you can configure this HTTP forwarding feature. Then of course you will need to fill in the account, username, password, this kind of information. If you don't want to miss any events, please select the info as the event severity. Then all the event log will push forwarded to your Nx web GUI. Then you will be able to see. So with this special integration we just finished with an Nx Witness, actually it's all different storage events. You can receive the same event log on the single unified web GUI of Nx Witness. So here you can see the web GUI of Nx. We are showing you when we would like to demo by adding another task. So here you can see also from our CLI test, which is a command line of Promise Vess A. So you can verify if the newly added log is true or not. And all the event log information should be consistent. So when you log in the CLI test and type the command to check the event log on Promise Vess A storage, you can use the command event. So here you can see the event list on our CLI. So later on, let us do another test. So we can go to our enclosure page. We just simply select whatever configuration, the change. Actually, we just click the submit button. Then there should be another event log. So we don't change anything. We just use submit on our enclosure temperature threshold. And then after this apply, we check our event log on the Promise storage system. We can see from here on 1549, we have a new event of the change. And then we refresh the event log on Nx. You can see the new event is already forwarded to Nx Witness Web GUI by our integrated feature. So in this case, if you have any hard drive failure, you would like to receive the event log on your Nx Witness, it's now also getting possible. So allow me to summarize why Promise is good for your surveillance project or surveillance business. First of all, we have 30 years experience and expertise in storage technology, and we are already qualified by tier one partners like Apple, like Intel, like Bosch. Secondly, Promise Vess A series is purpose-built for surveillance applications, which is very different from generic IT servers or storages. First of all, we have to say about our Smart Boost technology, which is our proprietary array driver to give you the ability to have better performance with better stability and lower your risk of video loss or frame loss. Also, from our website, actually, you can see we have a Promise Planner. We call Promise Planner. It's actually the sizing calculator for your surveillance projects. So this is rarely seen by the storage vendor. Of course, now we are getting more and more easily to see, but our Promise Planner was tested by the real test report, so which can give you higher accuracy and the better quality of the test result. We are also, because of our dedicated R&D software team, so we are capable to provide the plugin or even the selected partners. We will proceed the in-depth integration with the VMS. So you will have better functionalities, not only for the existing VMS feature set, you can also leverage with our Promise storage features. And also, we are able to cover all different demands of the storage capacity. And also, you don't need to worry. There's no headache for any kind of the storage expansion after your first deployment. We are certified with the tier one brands in surveillance, as I mentioned. We are certified with the Bosch, with the different players in surveillance. Our factories, our production line are all in Taiwan only. So we are giving you the high quality manufacturing capabilities, and these capabilities are also qualified by our tier one OEM customers. I'm not allowed to share all these brand name, but of course, this is more to see is to believe. So we have a comprehensive testing before any of our service release or our new software update. As you just saw, we also tested very in details with the Network Witness. So you don't need to worry about the quality and the performance. We also have the professional service setup in worldwide. We are able to give you the regional, local, pre-sales, technical support, RMA, or sales support for sure. Within already 30 years old, actually we have proven successful case around the world already. If you are interested, please contact us. We will give you more presentation or demo or pre-sales support for your project sizing, anything. So Here, I would like to provide some contact for your information. If you need any of our colleagues to support you, please, we have a channel sales manager in UK, is Mr. Tony Howard. You can have his email here. For Pan Europe, we have Miss Auke Benred. So her contact is also here for your information. If you need to survey for your project, you need some pre-sales support. We have also the dedicated pre-sales team in Europe. Mr. Mansour Tariq is in Germany. Mr. Bjorn Tenbrink is in Netherlands. So please let us know anytime. So we'll be able to provide more support to you. I think this is my part for today, Mr. James.
Cool, thanks, Eric. Yeah, it's really interesting to see the events coming into the system. This is the first time I've seen that.
Thank you.
Pretty cool. So if anyone's got any questions for myself or for Eric, or just generally, please feel free to use the Q&A at the bottom of your screen or the chat, whichever you prefer, and we'll be happy to answer them. I have a question, Eric. So all the events that you said that can come in from the hardware, do you have a list of those events somewhere so people can see exactly?
We have a list, of course, but this list is very big. As you can see, it is very comprehensive list. Please let us know the contact of this question, so we will contact him or her to provide further details.
Cool. And then, so yeah, just for everyone's reference, obviously those events, when they come into NX, we can actually like do whatever you want based on what event it is. So if it's like a high level alert, like for instance, drives are overheating, or the system's overheating, or too much vibration, or anything like that, we can actually then send that as a push notification to someone's phone. So if you're an IT manager, or if you're a system admin, or if you're a system installer, you can actually know that there's potentially going to be a hardware issue on site way before anybody else even realizes it. So you can go and address it straight away. So the hardware monitoring coupled up with our push notification to the mobile, that's pretty powerful, because it means that anytime there's a high level alert, you basically can tell someone straight away before any kind of like major damage happens to the infrastructure. So pretty cool. And then obviously it's good for logging as well, for making sure people are doing the right things. So no questions at the moment. We'll leave it open for a little bit, but there's someone in the chat. I got one question about the return on investment implementation, or ROI implementation, region of interest. Is it possible to implement mile site brand to NX? It is possible. Everything's possible. But if you want specific features or specific cameras and things like that added, the best thing to do is go and put a post on our community forum. Our community forum is monitored by our developers and product managers and support team. So if you actually add that there, and you can get enough other people to actually upvote it, and it's really popular, we will implement it. So chuck it on there. I'll also mention it, because I know there's a few people that we work with that do mile site. So I'm sure it's something we'd be happy to do. It's one of those things where we only have a certain amount of developers, and we have a list of cameras in order of the most popular ones used with our system. So we start from the top and we go to the bottom. So yeah, definitely possible though. So like I said, jump on the community forum, put a post there requesting it, tell everybody to upvote it, and then you will see it. And it's going to happen at some point anyway, because we are trying to integrate as many ROI features from as many camera manufacturers as we can. It's just obviously it takes time, because we have to get them done one by one with the team of developers that we have. And we're also trying to develop a lot of other features at the same time. So, which you'll see as 4.2 will have a release date soon. So thanks for that question. Any other questions coming in? you either did a really comprehensive presentation, Eric, where you covered everybody's questions straight away, or everyone's feeling a little bit tired on a Thursday.
Thanks, James. Actually, I have a lot of details to share, but as I said, we have too many models within our Promise surveillance product portfolio. So I just share the quick, how can I say, the overview for which model you can choose. And then I believe the presentation is available to get on my NX, right?
Yeah, so when in the next week or so, depending on how long it takes, we will upload the YouTube video and also the presentation to my.networkoptix.com. So anyone can grab it from there, and feel free to kind of go through it in more detail, as we are constrained obviously by time on these webinars, because we're conscientious that we don't go on too long.
Yes,
so,
I understand.
So on that note, if no one else has any other questions, we'll leave it for a couple more minutes. But thanks everyone for joining. Like I said, if anyone's got any questions for either myself or Eric, please feel free to reach out to us. Eric had his email up at the end of the presentation, so if you download the presentation, it will be there. If you want to contact me, it's jcox@networkoptix.com, or you can just email sales@networkoptix.com.
Sorry, I didn't put my own contact in the presentation. I'm sorry for that. So if you need any information regarding the products, please also you feel free to email me at eric.chi@tw.promise.com. So product marketing is I was involved in all different perspectives of the products or marketing or even sales or whatever you need. So if you have, for example, you would like to understand a little bit more about Promise Vess A, so just feel free to drop me an email. Then it will be my pleasure to support you.
Perfect. All right. Well, no one else is coming up with any more questions at the moment, so let's call it a day on this one. And as we said, just feel free to contact us for anything. Thank you everybody for coming and listening. Some really cool integrations coming out of Promise. I know I've used Promise a lot in the past, especially down in Australia. So great presentation. Thanks, Eric. And I'll let you say any last comments.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, James. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Keep in touch.